Okay. So, welcome back. Welcome back, everyone, to the Crimson Throne, our little humble take of this giant campaign module for Pathfinder set in D&D mechanics, because we're weird like that. First things first, you guys escaped the prison. Well done, all of you, except for one of you. You know who I'm talking to. Even then, I still have to say, well done. I mean, if you're gonna go out, go out. You escaped the prison, most of you. Went to go talk to Costigan. Had a very interesting conversation with her where you found that the blood veil had spread greatly in the 5 days that you had been imprisoned. There is now little doubt, at least among the Costigan and yourselves, of course, that this plague has been manufactured simply by the fact that most natural plagues just don't spread like this. Costigan is up to her eyeballs in work. Of which she has offered some to you as well. You also ran into an old friend of, well, a sister of an old friend of Shala's. The sister's name is Daenaria, which we're just calling Day. Day Mirkova, and she is the sister to an old friend of Shala, who's Ashton Mirkova, a very talented Okriana player. Who went to a very famous and rich estate of one Oloran Carwin. And she says that he has not returned. And when she went to the estate, she says he went there 5 days ago, has not returned. And when she went there herself, she saw nothing. No one answered her. She saw no signs in the windows. Basically, as far as she can tell, no one's there. And no one's answering her, so she's very, very worried. Shala is worried as well. So you have those two things on your plate, that and what Costigan gave you, which is rumors that there are some people who were hired as body removers, people that will take wheelbarrows and remove the dead bodies from the plague victims, and instead of taking them all the way to the graveyard, they are rumored to be just dumping them in a place called Riker's Alley. And Costigan needs to know if this is true, and if it is true, to put a stop to it, because as you all have found in your travels, heaps of corpses is very dangerous, because what if they turn undead? And to top it all off, probably at the bottom of your list of to-do, but still on there, there is an orphanage full of young children in a part of Old Corvosa that has been quarantined and left lawless for all intents and purposes, of which you possibly maybe want to go get out of there at some point.
Yeah, I know it's a fetch quest. It's kind of on the bottom of the list.
It's a bit done before.
Yeah.
So, what are we doing today? Oh, I feel like it's the magic school bus. What are we doing today, guys?
Whose day are we gonna fuck up? You know my vote.
Well,
wait, are you guys actually voting? I thought this was set in stone.
I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
If you have other opinions, you can voice them.
I was just surprised that there was hesitation. It's like, well, Riker's Alley is dangerous.
well, I mean, it is. You know, all that disease. Just
Okay. Let me put it this way: if you have alternate ideas, are you going to bring them up to Mwiri, and how are you going to phrase them? That's very important.
Yeah, no, not right now.
I see your courage ends there.
You can always find more, Murray.
That's not the point.
How long did it take you to get this batch?
Listen, there'll be plenty after this plague, I'm
It's
sure.
so true.
I know, all this free real estate, y'all.
Oh no. All right, so you guys, it's agreed you're headed back to the orphanage ASAP.
Yeah, the only thing that Muri wants to do is take a quick stop and buy a bunch of food.
Got you.
I'm assuming supply lines to Old Corvosa are slim to nothing.
Yes, very much so. Chrysidia was able to tell you that getting in, while not the easiest, it's far easier than getting out. They seem to be much more worried about keeping people out than in. But again, it's not like they just let you wander in. Yes, Russ.
Oh, I wasn't trying to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Like, Ross would ask Mori about how we're gonna plan on getting out. We can't just go in without a plan.
Okay. Well, before you do that, then let me
Yes, the fuck we can.
let me
That's how we're all here.
let me
I
quickly.
wasn't trying to interrupt you. I was just.
No, I understand. I understand. I saw the pluses and I just reacted, which is kind of the whole point of having the pluses, so that I don't have to do that. But that's my fault. You were told by Chrysidia that if you can get the children out, while it's not much, she does have a foreclosed dock that can act as a temporary shelter that should be fairly safe, if not comfortable. And that as far as getting out of Old Corvosa, she cannot offer you much help at all, other than the fact that Van Carlo is still in Old Corvosa somewhere, and if you can find him, he would probably be more than willing to help. And knowing him, he probably would always have something up his sleeve.
Are you telling us that because this is the one time he doesn't?
I am telling you that because that is what Chrysidia would have said.
Gotcha.
And she would not have said that like in an endearing way. She would have said that more like in an accusing way.
I think if she had said it in an endearing way, I would have been more worried.
Right. It'd be one of those like, I mean, Van Carlo's probably still over there and he could probably help you. He's like that. But no, other than that, she can offer you no assistance. The Crimson Guard, for obvious reasons, the quarantine, they have absolutely zero presence in Old Corvosa right now.
Okay. Man, I wish we hadn't burned those boats in the first couple episodes.
Oh, hang on. Apparently I am much louder than everyone else. Why is that? Like, that's been happening a lot lately.
You've got a lot to say, man.
That's not how it's supposed to work. Keep going, guys. I'll fix this.
So, RS is gonna ask Amelia, is there a way we can maybe stop by the stupid place where Bluno was with the boats?
Wait, who are you asking?
Murray.
You said, okay, yeah, I thought you said Amelia, and I was like,
Sorry.
did I totally miss something?
I meant Murray.
Yeah, dude, go for it.
Is there any way we can, like, see, perhaps maybe we could find Bluno? The guy with the boat that took us out to the other original...
Well, she does owe him dinner.
Ship. So, I mean, we can't just go in there without a plan. And, I mean, I'd prefer to maybe have something other than just hoping Van Carlo has a trick up his sleeve. I know that would be making a stop on the way home, but...
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that at all.
Okay. So I guess the first stop would be these docks.
Yeah, where did Squeak go?
I'm right here.
You still home? Oh, okay.
I'm right here.
The shit out of me, actually.
Well, we are only 4 weeks away from Halloween.
So as we're coming out of like the citadel, Aras would start walking along the docks to see if there are any ships.
Okay.
Or-
You mean familiar ships?
Well, preferably familiar ships, but if not familiar ships, then any ships ready for hire.
Ready for hire, not so much. There are lots of ships that are moored. You don't see many of them with crews on them. Like much of the city, the docks are fairly quiet and subdued affair. There are people about, of course. There are still, of course, poor fishermen that must ply their trade no matter how dire things have become.
Does it look like the majority of the larger ships have kind of left?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
It
So people have
is
been fleeing.
small trade caravels and rowboats and fishermen boats and things of that nature. You do, as you make your way up the docks, though, you do come across a fairly familiar boat that is hard to miss given your intimate relationship with the boat. It is certainly Bluno's small sailboat with the one small mast and the slightly tattered sail. However, instead of Bluno being the one there, it's a younger person. Dark black hair, slicked back with sweat. They're probably maybe in their late 20s, early 30s. Looks like they're trying to grow a beard, but it doesn't quite come in that well. And they're tall and kind of bean Polish.
Okay, so does he like bear any resemblance to Bluno at all?
Roll me a perception check, anyone who would like to.
Ooh, shit.
My gosh, there's dice involved?
What? Here, wait. I think I have that skill. Oh,
Wait, hold on, let me. Not a character sheet.
I have that skill.
I don't think you have that skill. Yeah, it's like I'm sorry, perception can't be used untrained.
Wow.
You can't just look at things
No.
and expect to know things.
No, I cannot.
Apparently not.
What do you think you are, Einstein? All right, Miri. Yeah, there's a passing resemblance, certainly. It's mostly in the nose, though, because while Bluno was kind of short and hunched, maybe due to his old age or whatever, like I said, this gentleman is tall and bean Polish, but you can see in the face, especially in the nose, there is a resemblance there.
If Bluno died of the plague, I'm gonna be really mad. I'm just putting that out there. Ooh, deafening silence is an answer. That's not a good sign.
I don't know what you want me to say. You want me to just like pop and throw confetti or something to cheer you up, or you don't know yet? You haven't asked anything.
Yeah, Ross, did you want to handle this, or should I?
You should, because clearly I have no idea who this person is. I walked right past him.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, with that perception check, you probably did.
Yeah.
Mary will walk up to him and say, "Child, there was another gentleman who owned this boat. Is he still with us?"
Hi. Oh, morning to you, ma'am. Ma'am. He says, like, nodding to each of you. Oh, you be talking about me father then, Bluno.
Yes.
And he kind of just brushes his hair back. I'm afraid not, ma'am. Plague took him 3 days back. It'll take us all eventually. Did you know him, Dad?
Yes, Yes.
No. Well then, Might help to know he didn't suffer none. At least he didn't complain no wise. And I don't know if he owed you money. I don't have none to give you. We are not very rich folk.
No, Chad. No. He was a passing friend, if anything.
Oi, well, then sorry to be the bearer of such bad news, and especially in days like this. But he didn't complain none. No, he worked it till the end. Last day, came out to work the boat. But so is there anything I can do for you, miss? Don't have much money, and I'm kind of new to this whole fishery thing. Not really what I was built for, but it's what my dad did, and well, now that he's not here, I suppose it's what I do now.
I had hoped to ask a favor.
Oh, aye? Well, what favour would that be?
She'll kind of look around. The blockade. It's separated me from my children. Must find a way around it. I was hoping a path by water might be the best way in.
Aye. Your children in Old Cavorsa, then, is it?
Yes.
I see. A dangerous favour you be asking.
Which is why I hesitate to ask it of you. You owe me nothing.
Anyone like to aid Mary in this persuasion check?
Standing up behind where I'll add, we can help pay and make it worth your while.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. Gold is hard to come by. Mary, roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh boy. I can't stress enough that I have a +0 to charisma.
I know.
Advantage.
To be fair, I don't think Haras is much better, so...
Actually, I am.
Are you? Well, okay, well, hang on.
I...
So, I know you rolled, and normally I don't like to go back on rolls, but since we're learning the rules and all that stuff, from now on, if Aras, if you are much better, or if there is someone who is much better, then you can always say, Squeak, can I roll instead? By all means. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, I'm all for the party using the party strengths. And I definitely don't want you guys to feel like, while there are times, for example, if no one aided Murray, it would all be up to Murray, of course. But I don't feel like the party should be forced to always have the same person talk every single time because they're the only one that could ever succeed. You know what I mean? So if Mary talks
also
and
to the peanut gallery in the fucking Discord comments, shut your goddamn mouth. You all knew this.
Well, to be fair and to be honest, like, Aras would not have taken the point at all in this conversation. She would have just been piping up when...
Right.
You wanted to come by.
And by the way, I'm going to point out she's not referring to the chat. She's referring to our players' Discord. There's probably like some people watching this like, oh my god, what did they say to her? No, so the way I like to look at it as a GM is that, because I don't want, like, say for example, Aras is the only one with charisma, right? I know the party can feel like she has to be the only one that talks all the time, but that's no fun. So if Aras helps, even if she isn't the one that takes point, I still feel like we can go ahead and use her role because that encourages more people to roleplay. Does that make sense? So, that being said, Aras, if you would like to roll, or if you want to keep the 9, we can do either one.
Oh boy. Please, God, don't make me keep the 9.
God, kind of hoping she says keep the 9, just to troll Blue.
But... Hello?
I can
Hello.
hear you through there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just leaving Blue,
I thought you were deliberating, and
Yeah.
I was like, don't do this to me, man.
leaving her out to dry.
Well, you know, I thought about it, but no.
All right, so go ahead and roll your persuasion at advantage.
Oh, thank God.
So when
24.
I said we can pay, that really helped.
Yeah, 24, slightly better. So the tall lad goes, I'm not gonna lie. Money certainly is hard to come by these times. And he'll look you over. You know, I hadn't spoken to me dad for, about 5 years or so. We kinda parted ways. Wanted me to be a fisherman, didn't like it. And, had a bit of a falling out, you might say. It didn't come to make amends to him until, well, the plague gripped the city, and with all the other madness, I thought perhaps maybe it was time, and turned out to be a bit too late, it seems. I'd hate to be the cause of another tale like that. Aye, if you've got the gold, I'll do what I can, though I don't claim to be no hero or nothing. I'm not no great rowboat or anything like that.
In this current days, it doesn't take a hero, it just takes somebody willing to stick their neck out for each other.
Aye, well, if that's all you need, then I suppose I can do that well enough.
Do you have children of your own?
No, not as yet. Shelley and I, well, maybe when things are more stable, we'll consider it. But times are tough. Not sure this is exactly the place I'd be wanting to raise a kid.
It is difficult.
Aye, I believe that. Well, why don't we, and he'll look around. None of you, plague-ridden, is you?
No, and further, I have some healing ability if you know someone who needs it.
Oh, aye? Nay, not at the moment, no, but why don't we take a ride out to the river? I need to do some fishing anyway, and it would give us room to talk without ears.
Of course.
And he'll motion you all aboard the boat.
How big is his boat?
It's a one-mast sailboat, so let me see if I can find you like a visual representation. Not huge, but not tiny.
So, small schooner, probably?
Maybe. Like, it has a small, enclosed space on it. Like, it doesn't have, like, a below deck or anything of that nature. But, let me see here. Let me find something that's a fairly accurate representation for you.
I guess my question is it something that's big enough that could fit all the kids?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't be very comfortable.
Schooner and sloop mixed up. I apologize.
It wouldn't be the most comfortable thing, but yeah, you could do it.
Okay.
Hang on. I'm still looking. You know what? I'm gonna
just look up sloop.
Sloop, sure.
Yes.
I'm not sure sloop's what I'm... Yeah, sure. I think you're right. That might be close enough to what I'm looking for. That's a bit big. A very small sloop is what it would be.
Gotcha.
You know what? This will work size-wise. Hang on. Let me just open image, new tab. Not design-wise, but size-wise, this will work.
Yeah.
And just imagine that part of it is enclosed, so it's like a little tiny shack on top of it type of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, you could definitely fit 15 some odd people on there without it sinking. They'd probably be lying foot to head, and it wouldn't be very comfy, but you could do it.
Okay. So as we're like, because we're over here in the Jaeger River, and we have to go out by Old Corvosa to get out to, say, sea. As we're doing that, I'm gonna ask if he can go as close to the north or Old Corvosa northeast docks. These docks way up here.
Oh, aye, but if I get too close, likely to shoot us down.
Don't. I just want to see what that range is. If that makes sense. Don't do anything you think dangerous, but let's see how close we can get before we provoke a response.
I wouldn't ask that of him necessarily.
No, I'm just trying to see. Can we get like?
Don't do anything dangerous, but see how close you can get before we provoke a response.
See how close we can get before they start shooting.
No, I don't mean that kind of response. I mean before
Yeah.
they actually kind of like.
I know what you mean.
Like how?
Look at you.
We're not sure how much warning they're gonna give us. They may just start shooting.
Well, I mean.
The shooting is the warning.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see.
It might be better to try and go at night. I know stealth is not this party's strong suit, but like, that's probably our best bet.
Excuse me, have you seen Faust? That kid's nutty.
I'm just trying
He's
to see,
extremely
like,
stealthy right now.
You guys can't even see him. He's a permanent invisibility spell.
He's not wrong.
You know, I'm just trying to see what kind of buffer range do they want people to leave, if that makes sense.
Yes, I totally understand. I will say this though, while it's a very noble and smart thing to do, even Bluno's son, whose name you have not asked for, by the way, it will tell you that that's a very dangerous thing to try and do on the actual boat. So, might be better to try and find that out other ways. He will say that when he does travel to sea, he travels as far to the eastern and northern shore as he can, and he has seen other ships blown out of the water by fireballs before.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How close? I mean, I'm looking like at the map, and it just seems really narrow. So I'm trying.
It is pretty narrow. So hang on, let me see if I can find a an accurate representation of distance here, because it's going to be hard. But let's say this is, let's say 1 foot is the equivalent of say 20 feet, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Then you're looking at about 260 feet at the narrowest point.
How many? Did we get any spare water breathing potions? Didn't we have those?
Yeah, we have a few. Group loot. Hold on.
Because we've got 4 people right now.
Looks like 2.
We didn't take Rhea and Shala. They're still with us, yes?
Yeah.
Oh, two potions. Gotcha. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm pretty sure we don't just have 2 people in the party right now.
Well, we forgot to tell you.
Well, they bailed. It's fine.
Yeah, so we have 2 potions of water breathing right now.
So 260 feet to the nearest point. He's not good with directions. I mean, with distances, right? It's clear this guy has not had a high education. Mm-hmm. But he'd say anywhere closer than half that, and he's seen ships get destroyed.
Would it be worth going up to would it be worth it to try and see if we can get 2 more water-breathing potions? Because that would probably be the easiest. If we could take a boat, say, like, up here, and then just swim across the narrowest part.
And how would we get the kids across?
We're gonna have to figure that out when we get there. Because we don't know what resources we're gonna have available when we get there.
Well, also,
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure this dude is not going to be our complete ticket in and out.
yeah, also understand too that you could go, for example, and he'll say he sees ships do this. You could dock somewhere. No one's gonna hurt you or harm you if you dock somewhere. It's leaving. That's the problem. So if you dock somewhere, you might as well just make it a new home, as far as they're concerned.
So this like settlement on the opposite side. Whoa, what is that?
A fisher village more than anything. Mostly fishermen huts.
Okay. And as Ross is going around, what is like the guard like? What are they like? How close are they? Is it possible, say at night, to have a small boat to sneak through?
Roll me a perception check.
Before you roll, sorry, I was muted. I will aid. Hold on.
Okay. So
have to
roll it with
roll.
advantage.
I do. Well, I might want to make that perception check. I have
was just gonna
proficiency in
say
that.
I am not a good person to roll this perception. So
Yeah, perception can't be
Oh,
used
good,
untrained.
You can't just look at things.
That's gonna be a new rule,
There you
and
go.
everyone's gonna hate it. Yeah, not bad. So what you find is on every dock
Mm-hmm.
there is at least one gray maiden, and about every second or third dock there is a figure in dark robes. Roll me yeah, everyone roll me an intelligence check, including Rhea. Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
oops. Oh, I'm sorry. I still had advantage on. I'll just take the first one. It was 11.
Alright. Ross. Waiting on you. And alright. Yeah. So you all beat it. The figures in the dark robes look like academy uniforms. But not students, faculty, which means most likely wizards of some kind.
So I noticed this dock kind of extends out some away from where, like the where the ships are docked. The wood planking extends out. What is past, or where's that wood planking? Are there any gray maidens out there? And then I guess this is cliffs along the edge.
Correct.
I'm looking for a place that could be like you could walk in.
There are not really any gray maidens in that wooden planking, no. But you don't know much about that area, unfortunately. With your specific upbringing, this is like the one part of town your family wouldn't care about. So you do know that there are houses there. There are houses attached to the dock, the wooden planking, and there doesn't seem to be any gray maidens
what
there.
I know about, because I live in Old Corvosa.
And with my late night wanderings,
Mm-hmm.
I've gone-
No, I'm not, because I wouldn't say that your late night wanderings have blanketed the city.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. Agree. Because I'm not going to have you guys just keep rolling intelligence checks. I'll say with the 11 you got, you don't know. They look like residential houses.
Gotcha.
What you do know, and I'll tell you guys this, what you do know from, where you especially, from living there for so long, is that Old Corvosa has several underground or criminal gangs. You do know that well, not Arlen anymore. Ross, you would know this better than most probably. Your good friends, the Arconas, the royal family of the Arconas, they live here. There used to be a place called Eel's End over here that got burned down. But a lot of...
Got burned down and all the rioting, you know.
Right. So this area is the poorest of the poor, right? This area are people like you just trying to make do. This area on the hill are usually people under the control of crime lords and where the more organized crime lives. And these back here are either residents or well-to-do residents. Like, these are the richer people of Old Corvosa, whether through crime or other means.
Okay.
Oh, and I will say, I believe Van Carlo's house actually is... You know what? Give me a second here. You guys mind if I look something up real quick? Because you would know where his house is, or his training studio, at least.
Go for it.
I need to find it. Oh, I see. I went too far. Whoops. Yeah, okay. Yeah, his house is right around here, actually. In fact, you know what? I'm going to say, because it'd be a bigger one, given that, you know, he had the school, the sword school, it's this one right here. Let me go ahead and, in case this becomes important for whatever reason, let me go ahead and shape that. Boom.
Okay.
So right now, my primary concern is getting in.
Right.
And I'm not gonna ask this dude to dock. I don't think we could pay this dude to dock in Old Corvosa because then he can't leave.
Probably not. I didn't think it. I didn't get the impression that it was difficult or that it would be too hard to get on to Old Corvosa.
Mm-hmm.
It was more getting off that they wanted to prevent.
Right. So I think that's something that we're going to have to cross that bridge when we get to it. And it would be helpful to be there before we start looking at, because if we can look around, watch the guards, if we can be there and look at how to get out, that would probably be more helpful than speculation.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say this isn't helpful. I didn't mean to shut you down.
No, I'm just thinking and planning. You know, trying to see. Is there any boats actually docked on that far shore?
Sorry, guys. Hang on one second.
So.
Sorry about that. What's up?
Is there anybody docked on this far shore, say over here or near that?
Not that you
boat?
can see, no.
As we're going around, we don't see anybody docked.
Nope.
Okay. Cool.
So, what's the plan?
I think I have one last question.
Uh-huh.
How far is it, say, from here to the fishing village?
You mean distance-wise?
Yeah, say if we were to get across the river somehow.
Well, hang on here. There's actually a ruler at the bottom, so let me use that. So that's a.
I'm trying to think. Would it be reasonable to get the kids to walk this far?
I don't know. Let's find out. Hang on. That's so 25 feet basically is 1,000 feet. So starting from where?
Like here.
Oh, yeah, it's like 2,000 feet.
Okay, yeah.
So
Okay.
what, half a mile?
Yeah.
If that. Which also means it's like 500 feet, the distance from the nearest point.
Okay. So arousal.
So a trip across the river would not necessarily be a long and grueling thing.
Well, 500 feet is actually pretty far when you're talking about a river.
Yeah.
That's almost 300 meters, right? Oh, no, it's almost, 200 meters right there. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing, though, is, like, is there a strong current? Because that could make it really hard to swim.
Yes, there is, because this empties out into the ocean.
Yeah. I mean, if they had a boat, but that'll probably just get shot down.
So over here, back down in the lower sections, like where you found the ship, the current is very gentle. But as it rounds the bend up here and heads towards the ocean, it picks up pace.
Would we know like the tides and stuff? Can we go at like?
Sure, I'd say you guys have lived here long enough to know the tides
Okay.
and how to explain them.
Cool. So as we're like kind of taking this distance and everything, Araz will ask the fisherman, does he think it would be possible to traverse in like say, or actually no, Araz will talk to Mweri and say, you know, if we could just figure out a way to get across to the other side, maybe we could have him stay at the fisherman village overnight.
As in, like, well, which him? The boat guy?
The boat guy.
We don't know his name because we haven't asked, which is kind of rude.
The fisher dude. Blue son.
Yeah.
Blue Nose son.
I mean, that's kind of a lot to ask of this dude. I mean, I guess we are paying him, but still.
I mean, just staying overnight in the fishing village be a lot.
I mean, probably not, but there's no guarantee that we are even going to get out that way.
Definitely not, but at least if he if we need him there, you know, if we can ask him to stay there for like, I don't know how much gold, some reasonable amount. It's better. I'd feel better having like a backup plan if we could get across, and at the worst, you know, just make some money for staying somewhere else tonight.
Okay, well, we can ask him to stay there, but again, I mean, Weary's a little spooked by the fact that Bluno is dead, and her primary concern right this second is getting into Old Corvosa. She does not want any of her children to die. She is less concerned with how we're going to get out.
So at that point, then Aris would kind of like step up and ask the guy if he would be willing to like spend the night in the fisher village.
Oh.
And maybe if we meet him there.
Well, I suppose it'd be doable.
We haven't even told him that we want to get back out. We just told him we want to get in.
We could say that we'll speed things all a little bit. You've let him. We'll say that you guys have had a conversation while you've sailed up, so he understands.
During this point, can we ask his name, please?
No.
His name
no,
is
we have to continue to make it up.
His name is Jino.
J-I-N-N-O or J-E-N?
Just J-I-N-O.
Okay. Gino.
Gino.
Whatever.
So he knows as much as you would tell him. How much would you tell him?
Ross, you're taking point on this one.
Well, I would tell him that I need to get in and out of Old Corvosa. I have some cargo, some very precious cargo that I need to get out of the city.
Well, with all due respect, ma'am, I didn't agree to do this for cargo. I agreed to do this for her children. Quite a bit different.
There's no point in lying to him.
That would be the cargo.
Yeah, that is the cargo.
He'll scratch his head. It's a fine way to talk about children, isn't it?
Murray gives Aras a look.
I've had a long day. I'm just out of it, okay?
I suppose I can understand that. Oi, well, that's a whole different kettle of fish. Getting back out. How many children you said you had, miss?
Me?
Yeah, he would
Who's
look
he
to you.
This.
Whoa, fuck. Well, we've got 10 kids plus Anna.
You have 12 kids plus Anna.
Okay.
12 kids, sorry.
He would look at you and he'd say,
No, I've got about 15 counting the party.
He'd say, 12 kids? Oh my, you've been very productive, ma'am. It's,
It's an orphanage.
Oh, it's an orphanage, of course. Stupid me. Well, of course it's an orphanage. Wait. You're saying there's an orphanage in Old Corvosa? But... Oh, I see. You're worried now that it's quarantined.
Yes,
Exactly.
we have somewhere safe to bring them on the other side of Corvosa, but getting them out is a problem, and I couldn't bear to lose them.
He is quiet at the till for a very long time, and the entire time he's staring off at Old Corvosa. And he says, I want to help, but I have a condition.
What's that?
It's unnoble to ask for money, but if I be to risk my life for this, I need to know that my wife would be okay. If you want me to help you get your children out, and I will do what I can, I need enough gold to make sure that she'd be okay if I were not to make it. Otherwise, I'm afraid I can't help. Not for any selfish reasons, see, but I could not do that to Shelley. I could not leave her here with nothing to support her. All alone.
And,
That is not the first time I have been asked that. Thinking of Anna, who is somebody else's wife, who has now been adopted by Mary.
would Aras have any idea of how much, like, a fisherman might make in a year?
Good lord, roll me an intelligence check.
14.
14 is not bad. Give me a second here.
I'm guessing not a lot.
Not a whole lot. Give me a second here. I have something that can actually help with this. So, let's say...
I'm sure Ross would be prone to over-exaggeration of that figure, so...
Let me put it this way. He lives... where? Not North Point. Where does he live? He lives... Midland. So... where would he be? Hang on, give me a second. I actually have kind of a sheet that talks about how much rent and things like that is, and you can use that to kind of gauge, you know, where does he live? Well, he can obviously afford that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So he's Midland is where he would be, right? Give me a second here. Yeah, he'd be Midland. He would be... All right, so give me a second. So we'd say for his house, it's about 3 to 8 gold per month. So we'll say 5 gold per month. So what he needs just to live, just to stay in his home, he's looking at 60 gold a year, and then add probably another 60 on top of that for living supplies. So what, 160 gold a year?
I mean, that's doable, and furthermore, she could always live with us.
Assume.
Well,
Well,
the first time.
Yeah. So, Ross would say is 100 gold enough for start, and with a promise that we would make sure to keep an eye out if the worst did happen.
Well, if we're being honest with each other, and I feel like we should be, I'm not sure how much of a promise like that is worth, since if I don't make it, given what we're thinking about doing here, I doubt any of us would be making it. Aye?
And why did he ask?
He didn't ask for you to take care of her. He asked for enough gold for that she would be taken care of.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So he just wanted kind of a lump sum to give her.
Basically, he's saying that if I risk my life and I die, I'm more than willing to do that, but I need to make sure my wife has enough money that she's going to be okay.
I'm trying to gauge what that value is.
So, well, it's up to you. But so, in your intelligence check, you know that 120 gold is probably about what this guy would need per year.
Okay, then I'll say 150 gold is what I would have said in the beginning.
Okay. He'll say, that's a lot of gold. And he'll look at Murray. And I do want your little ones to be safe. I'll do what you ask. But, I'll need some time. I'll need to tell Shelley. I'll need to give her the money and well, and then I suppose go to wherever you need me to go.
Thank you. Okay. So Ross, where do you want him to hang out? Because I can see if I can contact him remotely if we need him somewhere.
But yeah, yeah, that would be really good. And I don't remember how far the
Sending doesn't really have a
Miles and miles and miles.
No,
Yeah.
my little stupid things.
Meters
No,
and meters and meters.
yeah. Yeah, I've got sending, so I can see if I need to, I can send Majenko if I'm out of spells for whatever reason.
Slaps
Okay.
microphone. This baby can transmit so many feet.
Yeah.
Through one whole wall.
That's fine. Yeah, I would, Ross would tell me, yeah, I think that'll be the best idea. Have him spend the night in the fisherman's village, and if we need him to come.
Okay, so he is going there. We're gonna give him how much gold? 150 gold.
Yep.
Slap that down. Enjoy.
He, yeah, I don't think he's ever seen that much gold all in one place at once. He takes it kind of in shaky hands and says, "Oi, oh, so serious. Right then. First things first, I need to... Right. Well, I was serious too. First things first, I need to get you to him, and then I'll go see Charlie and give her the gold. You don't mind if I don't exactly tell her what we're up to, do you? I don't want her to worry.
What is your choice?
Oi. Well, right. So, how do you want me to get you there? And I'd say about this time, it's nearing sunset. Like, the sun's getting low to the horizon.
I mean, just like at this point, Miri does not care. You can pick a point and she'll swim. Like,
But
she's
Miri doesn't
ready
like
to
swimming.
go. She hates swimming, but she's really worried.
How long does a potion of water breathing last?
A couple hours, I believe.
An hour.
Yes. Exactly one couple hour.
Alright. Well,
And I mean,
instead
my
of-
inclination is not to split the party, but we only have 2 of those potions. And if Mary just needs to cast Sanctuary and walk her ass in, she will.
Well,
That's what
so if you guys are just trying to swim in, you don't need potions of water breathing.
I mean, if we're being totally honest, she would like to avoid getting wet if at all possible. It's not her favorite thing in the world.
Yeah, sorry, I only have like 1 swim bladder, so
I don't know what that means.
it's a thing you can keep air in. So like, if you're gonna go swimming or something, you bring air with you.
You hear that, guys? She only has 1 of them. Should have caught her on Tuesday.
You know, I mean, an air bladder, yeah. Sorry, and a waterproof bag. Which, if we're going swimming, I'll totally put the bag of holding in there. But I kind of
Bags within bags within bags.
Put Murray in the bag of holding for 10 minutes.
I had kind of hoped to like just run really fast across the bridge,
Oh my god.
but I do have a rowboat that we can wait until it gets really dark and then try to use that to row across.
Listen,
that?
man, I'm just gonna use my fine steed as a dolphin and just go across. It'll be fine.
Well, I mean, if you have a rowboat and we're fitting 4 people in a rowboat, I don't think they're gonna care if we just are like, "Hey, what's up? We're not gonna try and leave. We're just docking here."
Gina would actually say, "Why, if you wanted, there's probably one you could purchase at the Fisher Village for cheap."
I actually
Arlen sent
have
you.
one.
Ross.
Sorry?
No, you're good. No, I was just correcting myself.
Oh. Is there a dock you'd like to take me to then, so that you can retrieve it?
No, it's fine. I have it here with me.
Sorry, miss, I don't think I understand.
Magic.
Oh. Oh. I didn't know. I didn't know you were that sort. Not that that sort's a bad sort. Just it's a different sort than our sort, you know.
I was hoping to maybe use it only on the return journey, but maybe we should.
Well, once you summon it, is there any way to put it back in?
No.
Nope.
No.
No.
I guess we could just pick it up and carry it with us. Between 4 people, I'm pretty sure we could.
I mean, I'm assuming also we'll do it like at night, so we will.
I don't know. We could probably fit into the bag holding. Come on, how big is a boat?
It won't
12
fit.
feet.
It won't fit.
I'm kidding.
So what I'm thinking is just like have him slow down somewhere, and we'll wait until night and just row across.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Preferably aiming for like here where the wooden dock is before the sheer cliffs.
Sure. So
Yeah.
he'll stop there. You guys wait for about half an hour or so for what's called nautical twilight to arrive. And he'll say, "Why, well, not going to get much darker than this. It's a full moon tonight, so once it crests the horizon, it'll actually brighten up a bit, at least over the waters anyway."
We thank you for your help and
No,
good luck.
no thanks needed. I'm gonna go home to Shelley and I'll give her the money, and then I'll be waiting in the fishing village for you.
Hope to see you soon.
Aye, same here. Safety to you all, ma'ams.
Thanks.
And you as well.
And he'll sail off.
Well, I
So
mean,
we're all
after-
sitting in a Ross's
off the
dinky little
patch.
rowboat.
I hope he waited until after I ripped off the patch and pulled out the rowboat.
Nope.
Now he just tosses it overboard.
Dad throws you overboard and says goodbye. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were like on the shore.
Oh, well, yeah, that would have worked too. So as soon as it's dark, I'm gonna try and row across and like aim for that spot.
All right.
There.
Roll me. Okay, is it just you rowing?
No,
Who's rowing?
definitely not.
Rhea
Yeah.
will help row.
All right. Both of you roll me a stealth check.
Oh no.
Well, okay.
I'm at disadvantage, aren't I? Oh god.
Not
Okay.
really. Not in this case. You
Yeah.
wouldn't be. Your
Okay.
your armor's not really going to
25.
help that much or hurt. I mean, I guess it would a little bit, but not the.
Wow.
Well, okay. So as you're rowing, Aras, you're on point. Like your oar is gliding in and out of the water, smooth and quiet. Rhea's over there, just splash,
Yeah.
splash, squeak, armor. As you get close, you notice that a gray maiden walking along the wooden dock away from you guys notices you, and her eyes follow you. And she seems following you with her eyes for a while, and then there's a sound, and she moves her head off to another direction, and calmly walks off that direction. until she's out of your viewpoint.
I mean, okay. Weary will cast Sanctuary just to be safe.
Okay.
So let me hold on. Let me take that off my spells.
And with that, you guys managed to make it to the wooden docks. These docks are very run down. There are less docks and more loosely held together pieces of wood. But you're able to get there, and actually, does anyone have any rope? You could tether the rowboat if you wanted, or do you guys plan on carrying it? What's your goal here?
As soon as the boat touches the shore, Weary is out of the boat and walking away.
Okay.
Of course I have rope. Huh. 50 feet of rope. Do I need more?
No, you don't even need that much.
Okay. So yeah, I will be tying the boat up.
Okay. Sure. You can tie it up and kind of tuck it under the dock a little bit.
All right, to hide it.
Yeah, so it's not immediately visible. So the three of you get off the boat and make your way towards the orphanage, I assume? You're not going to be dilly-dallying?
No.
No.
All right. So you make your way, and immediately what you find is that Old Corvosa is fairly lively, actually, and not in what you would necessarily call a good way. You see lots of people on the streets, some carrying torches, some drinking, some laughing, all of them armed, carrying weapons and shields, and all of them dressed dirty. And you see one person down the street kind of kick open the door to another house and walk inside, and you hear a scream inside there, and see two people run out of the house. And you see basically this kind of thing happening all over the place. It's very clear that this area has gone the way of lawlessness, and it seems to be ruled by the mob now. And as you approach your orphanage, you're walking down the street, and you hang on. Let me change you guys over. You hear quite loudly over the din. Now for the last time, wench. We don't want to hurt you or any of the little pups inside. We just want the place. All right? Now, if you would just be reasonable, and you hear a and as you guys approach, hang on.
Hell no.
Why am I not seeing? Why are they not? Why can't you guys see these? Give me a second here.
Dude, I don't know what's happening with your little fog of war stuff or whatever.
Why? You should be able to see those, but you can't. That's so weird.
I can see a fountain.
Did you accidentally put them in like the dynamic lighting layer?
Nope,
like
I tried that. I checked that. That's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There you go. I'll just turn that off. There. Oh, that's why. Because Advanced Fog of War was on. You didn't have any sort of light source, so it wasn't showing them.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll say that you guys are approaching. I'm not going to put your tokens down just yet until we need them, right? But we'll say you guys are approaching from here. And this black square, of course, is the orphanage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you see people around it, and you hear is like, we're taking over this building, but I promise you we're not trying to hurt none of the little pups inside. Just give us that little bastard guard, and the rest of you can go. And then it's interrupted by this thung, this sound of like cast iron hitting something hard, and a thud as you see like a body kind of like fall, a man fall and roll to the ground, and you hear Anna calling from inside the orphanage. And if another one of you tries to sneak in the window, you'll get the same. And then there's a pause. Listen here, you little bitch. We're about done. And with that, you hear, I don't know, stranger number one.
At this point, Muiri is flat out running.
Stranger number one, what would fly out of a window?
Probably a glob of acid.
Glob of acid flies out of the window at the guy's feet, and he starts kind of dancing. And he goes, "Oh, what the?" All right. And then about that time, we'll see. Yes, Aras?
I was gonna say, about that time, I would have my thunder cannon out and shoot straight up into the air to like get their attention to draw them
Shoot
away.
a person, dude.
Okay.
Well,
that's fine. You shoot up in the air.
No, fair enough. I'll shoot. Like
Shoot at someone's feet. Like, you don't have to straight up kill a man, but like.
Okay, yeah. I will shoot at the I guess we're coming from this side, so the closest guy's leg.
Okay. Roll to hit.
See if I can find the right sheet. Oh, crap. Did I have... Well, I don't want silencing, but... Okay.
Well, we can say that you would have taken it off. That's fine. You had plenty of time to do so.
Okay.
Give me a second here. Hey, where am I?
Oh,
Oh,
crud.
whoops! I'm on the wrong
That's
window.
supposed to be +2. I hit the wrong one. 'Cause
Plus
it was
2?
decided. Yeah, that's 16.
Gotcha. Give me 1 second. Where are my? Is it this guy? Yeah. It should be a what?
16.
Okay, that's enough to hit. Roll damage, please.
19.
19. All right. Amelia, would you also go ahead and roll for your acid splash?
What? I think you mean mysterious stranger.
I think the second she said acid splash, everyone knew who it was.
Secret. Nobody knows.
It's a cantrip, isn't
Well,
it?
I guess we have to wait and see if it hits before we really know.
Yeah,
If,
before we know if it's her or not. If it misses, we know it's her.
No. Yeah, and I don't have to roll anything. They have to roll a dex save.
Oh, okay, got it. Give me 1 second. I just had their sheet up too. Dex save. It's her.
It is Amelia.
Yay! So the ipso facto leader jumps out of the way of the big splash of acid while the guy to his right gets hit in the leg with a loud boom, and everyone turns and sees Muiri running towards them.
Mary, who looks like just the fires of a hell around her. She is beyond pissed off.
And if anybody moves towards Moiri threatening, I have a second barrel waiting to just shoot.
The leader goes, "Oh, whoa, hey, whoa! What's going on here? We already claimed this area."
No, you didn't!
You hear from the orphanage.
Moiri sort of like steps right up to him. She has zero fear and says, "I'm afraid this is my house. And if you wish to take it from me, I believe you will have to kill me for it."
Roll intimidate.
Can I?
Yeah, actually, please do.
I feel like mom voice should add advantage.
Do I get advantage with a loaded gun aimed at him?
No.
Does she get advantage with the full-plated or chainmailed paladin running up behind her?
Unfortunately, no. You guys are still outnumbered here. But doesn't matter. 18. He goes, hang on now. And he kind of takes a step back.
Oh no, I believe just a moment ago you were perfectly ready to storm the building. Now, I'd like to know in detail exactly what you wanted with my house.
Listen here, lady. I got no beef with you, but the Emperor wants the house. It's one of the best built structures in the area, and we need an outpost. So, what
And
the
it is
Emperor...
my house, and the Emperor can face his grave if he wants it.
He takes another step back. I don't think you know what you're getting into, lady.
I don't think you know who you're talking to.
Excuse me?
Oh my god, dude. What?
Fine then, I won't say
No, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Can I have an attitude? Jesus.
I think she's too into Miri right now.
So, excuse me, but who is the Emperor?
He kind of looks around trying to gain support from his cronies. He goes, the Emperor. The Emperor. So the man who's going to be running this show. And someone who you'd best be, he takes a look at Mary, paying homage to if you want to survive. Gotcha, I see that.
What was Spider Guy's name?
Dervargo?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dervargo.
I wrung the life out of Dervargo. And if you want this house, I will wring the life out of you.
That actually kind of startles some people. And you hear one. She's not joking. I was there. What? I used to be part of Devarco's crew. It was her. And he kind of looks back and looks at Murray. All right. Look, we didn't come here for war. Just following orders. Tell you what. We'll go back for today. But, mark my words, the Emperor doesn't like being rebuked. He'll come, and he will take this place. So, if I were you, I'd find yourself and those brats inside a new place to stay. Come on. And he and a couple other people like kind of take the guy who's now limping, and a couple other people pick up the guy who's now got a lump on his head from where he got hit by his frying pan, and they start walking away.
Mary will look up to the window. Anna, dear, would you mind opening the door?
Mary? Oh, thank God. And with that, give me a second. Let me get your tokens out there now. Because I finally made a thing for you.
Ooh, you made a layout?
I did indeed.
I gave you a picture of what it looks like, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, good. All right.
Ross.
As we're walking in, Aras will say, sorry we were detained. But that is definitely the wrong icon.
That is a Ross. That's a Ross.
that was Arlen.
I know, but that's still marked as a Ross. We need to change your... Oh, all right, I'll just go grab it from the other map.
No, that's fine. We can use Arlen 1.0.
Nope. I just need to change... whoops. I need to change... what represents your character.
Oh.
That is a very large dwarf.
Does using a large person help with intimidation rolls?
Yeah, while you guys are doing that, while I'm doing that, check and see if you can move your characters for me.
Nope.
Yeah.
Alright, oh, well, of course, right, yeah, or else you wouldn't be able to use yours because just pulled you from somewhere else. Give me a second.
Is the rest of the party like weirded out because Mary's so like usually even keeled, and that was kind of an untamed show of aggression.
It wouldn't even register to Aras. That was Arlen. He was like, "What? What? What?" And then he just like, "What?" 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 And then So she's
All right.
more on like.
Oh yeah, that's
Automatic.
mom. It happens.
I just was more like she sees a threat, she's gonna shoot and
Yeah.
destroy the threat.
All right, there we go. All right, so give me a second here. Let me reveal this for you. The door is, by the way, right here. Whoops. Right here. So if you be going in that direction.
Oh, it looks like okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I know it looks like a little stall, but just forgive me.
So we have 2 shop stalls outside.
And Anna opens the door, and she has a frying pan that looks fairly dented in one hand, and you see
The first thing Mary does is hug her.
she hugs you back, and she is dirty. She looks very tired, and she is a bit smelly. It's clear she hasn't bathed or slept in a bit. You also see, back in the distance, Amelia, who is still wearing travel clothes. Amelia, how long have you been here? Maybe a couple days?
Oh, I was muted. Probably she would still have travel clothes, and her face painting would be far less like green. It would actually be a very rich blue and white coloration now. And she sees everyone. Why is Anna in the house?
Because it's Anna.
Oh my god. Okay.
Hey.
She's getting up. She's.
What can I say? I didn't have a token. It matched and even kind of matched the description, so.
Oh my god. Anyways, but yes, as soon as she sees Mary step through the door, she runs over and immediately hugs her.
Group hug. Everybody in.
Oh, you're alive. You're okay. Oh my goodness. Oh,
I'm afraid
sorry.
we had a very uncomfortable run-in with the Grey Maidens, and
No,
I've
Murray,
seen more.
wait. We don't have time. Please. Van Casterkin. He's been helping us. He's been protecting us. And she'll kind of step back, and you see Van Casterkin is sitting on the floor. His uniform is ripped and bloodied. And Amelia, he's been fighting these people off for days. But he is in the very final stages of the Blood Veil. To the point where he can't even stand right now. And it's like, he kept fighting, even when it got worse, until... I'm sorry, I couldn't do anything, but he refused to go get help.
It's all right. Is anyone else hurt? Is anyone else sick?
No, the children are upstairs.
Good. She will walk over and cast Lesser Restoration on him.
And when you walk over there, it's like he doesn't, acknowledge you. He seems to be dazed and distant. And it takes a minute or so for him to come around. And he eventually will, and he'll say, Mary?
Rest now, child.
Is everyone okay?
Yes, you did very well.
And he'll just nod and close his eyes and put his head back against the table.
So Ross is gonna stand at the door until everybody gets inside. So I'm assuming is Shala okay?
Yeah, Shala would go inside.
Okay. And she's gonna say, "We can't stay here long. We need to get what we can, and we need to leave."
Right, Anna says. But where could we possibly go? This is the safest place in Old Corvosa.
Which is why we need to get out of Old Corvosa.
But they've quarantined us.
I mean, it was easy enough getting back in, but I'm not quite sure how you plan on getting out.
Well, we will have to decide on that. How long have they been trying to take this place?
Oh, about 3 days.
And this emperor figure?
Anna shrugs, and you hear Van Castigan, like, not even his eyes open, like, he's just the picture of exhaustion. He just kind of says, he is a local crime lord. My guess is he's using this opportunity to seize power. And given how well
Amelia know
built...
anything about him?
Well, roll me intelligence check. You wouldn't from your past exploits. No, you don't know him.
Yeah,
Sorry.
she has no idea.
And he says, given how well built this house is, it's no surprise they're looking for it. Does tend to stand out amongst the rest of the shacks in the area.
Well, if he tries to take it again, I'll kill him.
Amelia looks over at Mwiri and says, if we're planning on escaping Old Corvosa anyways, we might as well fill it with something nasty and see if they can get through.
This is my house, dear. I would like to live in it again. The quarantine won't last forever. The plague has spread despite it, and I'm not sure quarantine measures have done anything.
Your house was rebuilt once. It can be rebuilt again. We can't replace people. We need to make sure at least the kids are safe.
I will not gamble with their lives, child. They come first. But I expect we are all tired. We have spent far too long in prison. And I suppose a good meal will do everyone some good.
What time at night would it be? I mean, you just said it was twilight.
Yeah, so maybe, 8 o'clock at night, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, oh crap. I can't remember where low tide is. That nearer sunrise or sunset?
I don't know.
Would it be harder? Okay, so based on whatever we know about tides or whatever, would it matter if we waited 8 hours, did a long rest, and then left?
No, it wouldn't matter at all. The only difference would be whether you leave under cover of darkness or... Well, no, you'd still... 8 hours, you'd still be under cover of darkness,
Yeah,
yeah.
4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. So, no, it wouldn't matter.
Okay, so that's what Aras would suggest is we take some time, we eat, we rest, and then when we've recovered some, we leave in a few hours. So we can still escape under cover of darkness.
You hear Van Castigan say, sounds like a plan. I should get back to Chrysidia before she thinks I abandoned again.
You're
I
in
don't think you're going
no.
to be able to get out.
You're in no condition to go anywhere.
He kind of stands up enough to sit down in an actual chair. He's like, oh, no. I meant with you lot.
Oh, well, that's reasonable.
She think I
I
was
can tell
just...
Chrysidia that you're all right.
Perhaps one of us should go see if we can find Van Castigan. I mean, Van Carlo.
Right here.
Deep V. Deep V.
Deep
Foxy Grandpa.
V.
That one.
Damn it. You know, the other V guy. I can step out and see if he's around. Bring him back.
Shala will say, "If you want, I could go with you. I know him well too."
See if you can entice him with dinner.
Arlen will just, or Ross will just turn around and start walking out.
And Shala will, like, taking a look at Amelia and Van Castrican and just kind of follow behind you.
Amelia holds up a hand to, like, say something as they're walking out, and then just drops it and looks away, just like, missed my chance, never mind.
Tell me of your travels, Chad. What brings you back?
Well, Mother and she
Sister.
glances over at Rhea and my sister and I. We heard about the plague, and I was worried, so I came back to see what I could do to help, and I suppose it's good that I did.
It is very good you did. Are they safe?
Yes, they didn't come back into the city with me, if that's what you were asking. I had to put my foot down a little bit, make sure that Mother didn't come with me. Believe me, she wanted to.
How long have you been in the city?
Just a few days. Seems the angry mob outside came just as I was entering. I suppose they figured. Yeah, I suppose they figured if one random person could walk in, then everyone could. She just fidgets with her hand. So, is there any new news about anything, I guess?
Oh, let's see. Exactly at what point did Amelia leave?
Immediately after the execution, or attempted.
Precisely when she needed to.
Yeah.
Precisely when she needed to. Yeah, pretty much as soon as Triana got off of the gallows, she went home, she grabbed her shit, she grabbed her mom, and she left.
Gotcha.
Like, it was that fast.
So since then, what have we done besides get arrested?
You can just say you give her the lowdown, because that's a lot.
We killed some rats.
Yeah, that is true.
I joined a new cult.
You're not there.
You what?
She
Ross
joined
the Grey Maidens.
Oh, gotcha.
Anna will say.
I thought you said new call, like new Discord.
Oh.
Anna will say, "Oh, well, we've met some new friends too. Rhea, don't be shy. This is a friend of ours, Amelia, a good friend. Amelia, this is Rhea, a paladin of the Order of the Rose, I believe."
The Lilac Quarter.
The Lilac. I'm sorry, I'm not very familiar with paladin orders. But she's been staying with us for a while.
Ah. Yes, that's thank you for helping my friends. And she awkwardly holds out a hand to shake.
Murray will kind of motion Anna over and say, Faust will not be
Oh, did you finally manage to convince him to go away?
No. I believe he fell to the Great Maidens.
Oh. Oh. I have a dog in the background who really wants my attention. I'm sorry to hear that. But I understand.
That's his choice. Suppose. Just so you don't feel the need to guard the windows.
I see. Well, thank you for telling me.
And where's Majenko? Did he... I sent him.
He's... well, you could say he's babysitting. I don't think he'll admit it, but I think he's quite fond of the kids.
Well, he had to get something from me.
And Amelia, we have another friend. She's shy, so she didn't introduce herself, but you saw her. Her name is Shala. She's a bard. Amelia, roll me an intelligence check, just out of curiosity.
Can do.
No,
12.
you don't know who that is.
Okay. Amelia looks over at Anna and goes, yes, okay. Just kind of like, am I supposed to know who that is?
And Anna will, and then she'll actually then see to Van Casterkin, and she'll say, "Oh, and your bees, Mary, I don't know what I'm supposed to feed them. I don't know if they're okay or not." Okay, good. They seem all right, but you know.
I couldn't find an instruction manual.
Oh, crap. Hang on, my dog took something. I'll be right back.
That's okay. Can we take a quick break?
Yeah, let's take a quick break. He's really trying to get my attention. He's taking things
Go pet
now.
your dog.
I'll be right back. Give me like 5 minutes.
Okay.
I mean, Arla may have, like, whined and complained, but she never stole my mouse or anything.
You mean Galen?
I just realized what I said. I meant Galen.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't want to say anything because I wasn't sure. But
It took like 2 seconds for me to be like, wait a second.
I can't do names for nothing tonight. Oh my god, I don't know what's wrong with me.
It's okay. Apparently, I feel like it's Amelia's resurgence. Everyone is just like, yeah, Arlen. Wait.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Amelia doesn't know about her new name either.
No, she doesn't. So, and right now she's a little single-minded and wanted to avoid the whole Faust conversation. So.
Oh, damn it, I just need one more.
Okay.
Oh,
It's 15 down, right? I know the one you're missing is 15 down. It's always 15 down.
Oh, those bastards. No, it's a child. I have,
What?
it's a child. I have one more child to draw.
Oh.
Yup. This sure is that high-end entertainment.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You excited to play Amelia again?
Woo, nervous child. So exciting. Yes, no, I'm very excited to play her again. He's just currently trying not to like explode and be like, how soon can we kill this son of a bitch?
Which one?
Any of them. You laugh.
I
But
mean,
this is true.
well,
This is her
all I
reality.
imagine is you just immediately turn on Van Castic and you're like, no, that guy's bad. Just while you're trying to take care of him, because I don't. Who else are you going to kill?
No men in this house.
I mean, you know, I don't think my character ever stepped foot in that house.
Who?
No,
You did.
No, I think he
Yeah.
did very temporarily. That's true, and then he left.
House?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he spent the night.
No, he didn't. But
Yeah, he did.
I promise you, he did not.
No, he didn't. I think he like came for dinner and then left or something.
That
No,
is very
because he
true.
slept. He slept at on the table because I wouldn't give him a room, and
No.
he was like, "Oh yeah, I fold my blankets," and I was like, "Good," because if he didn't, Larry would have an even worse opinion of him.
I did fold your blankets because I didn't use them. No, Faust went to the academy that night.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah. But he didn't want to be that rude. He had something he was curious about. And he couldn't get answers from you guys because you guys had really good perception checks against my like nat 1 stealth rolls.
I don't know how they saw through it, man. It was just like top tier roguelite abilities. Like I don't.
I don't
maybe
understand.
he'd been doing a lot of research in the academy and just hadn't had a lot of real world practical application.
Oh, that's very much so true. Yeah. Not for a while anyway.
I mean,
Yeah. Maybe given time he would have gotten better, but no, not the beginning. Oh my god.
doo-doo-doo. Man, how big is Squee's house that he's got to chase his dog down this long? I hope he did something else.
You might have to go potty as well.
I was thinking.
He might have eaten it.
Wait, did you just say he might have eaten his dog?
I
know,
mean,
I
that
meant-
is also technically a possibility. Yes.
Yeah, he could have.
Wally,
I
no.
probably eat my cats all the time.
To be fair, like they kind of deserve it though.
Okay.
Do you want to extrapolate, Laura?
Your cats are animals. I'm not sure.
I mean, they're assholes, so why wouldn't we eat them?
That's
And
true.
you didn't clarify that at all for her, by the way.
I don't know what else needs to be clarified. They're assholes. Like, what more do you want from me, woman?
Better explanation.
All I can say is I spent way too much time in Korea to not be thinking about bulgogi right now, which is made with dog meat. So some people do actually. I mean, not their pets, but you know, yeah. Anyways.
Well, you better tell him to quit knocking over my plants or they're on thin fucking ice.
You know, they used cat guts to make violin strings.
A long time ago. It's because they had really good elasticity and made a clear sound.
Yeah. We still use cat whiskers in X-ray crystallography, but usually those whiskers like, fell off the cat naturally, so.
Hello.
They were
Yeah,
humanely
harvesting those
harvested.
is probably a bad idea.
Yeah. Somebody told me they found out the hard way, and I can't remember who it was, so I'll just pretend I don't know anybody who actually did that. Actually cut the whiskers.
What? Who would cut the whiskers? Like, why would you do that? Why, I forgot, I didn't realize I was muted. Why would someone cut whiskers?
Oh,
Because they were probably a stupid child and
They
didn't know
didn't-
better.
they didn't know better, and they have some uses in X-ray crystallography, and it was only one.
I see, I see. Like, if I understand correctly, I know they use whiskers. Like, I don't think it hurts them to cut it off, but don't they use them?
Yeah,
it
it
totally
gives-
messes up their perception. And
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
He said his cat kept running into walls for like 6 months.
Alright, well, I ran my dog down a bit, so hopefully he's okay now.
You sound tired.
Well, I just chased my dog nonstop for 5 minutes. The only way to tire your dog out is to get tired yourself. So, not that that's a bad thing. It's just...
Well, how late do you have to leave tonight? Because it's already 11:50.
It is. I got maybe another 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
Okay.
Well, gosh, no, I don't. We need to, first of all, I need to, start sooner. And, we need to talk about maybe just having a sooner start time, maybe like 8 instead of 8:30, which always ends up being 9. So maybe if it's 8, maybe it'll be by the 8:30 we'll get started.
Yeah.
Is that Eastern Standard?
No, that's my time, Central.
Yeah, so it'll be 9. Standard.
Like, I'm thinking if we start half an hour earlier, if people can swing that, that might actually help us a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's 9 o'clock for the cool folks.
Yeah, for everyone except for me and Ren.
For the cool half of the country.
Yeah.
So, why don't we do this? We have some time left. I will resolve Aras and Shala, and Rin will take care of you because that'll take some time, and that'll probably be we'll call it a night after that. But again, I'm not exactly sure what you have planned for that, so we'll just work through that, right?
I don't mind just leaving it for the next session,
Sure, we could do that too.
because I don't expect it to be like a 5-minute introduction done.
No, I didn't expect so either, but that's a fair point. I don't want you to feel like you're rushed. Well, we could just call this a short session and pick up next Tuesday.
Do we want to resolve what happens with Van Casterkin?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
The fucking Fee fucks Grandpa, that one?
Yeah.
Which one is that?
Absolutely. Van Carlo.
I keep calling him Van Casterkin.
Because Van Casterkin is this guy.
On the kitchen table.
Yeah. Alright, so yes, Aras and Shala, you're walking down the street. And as you're walking down the street, Shala comes up to you and says, Aras, do you mind if I ask, who was that friend of yours?
I'm assuming you're talking about Amelia back at the house.
I suppose?
Jumpy girl.
With the face paint.
Yeah.
Did you just refer to Amelia as Grumpy?
I said jumpy.
Jumpy.
Oh, I was like, dang, she's not that bad, is she?
No, jumpy.
Gotcha.
I forgot what I was gonna say. She used to live with us. When I first, well, with Miri and everything, when we first met up and restarted the orphanage. But her sister got falsely accused, and they had to leave town very quickly.
I see. Right. Well, I'm sorry. It's just you all lead such interesting lives. It's hard to keep up sometimes.
I'm not sure I'd call... Well, no, that's actually probably exactly what I'd call this life. Kind of interesting.
It's certainly one that a bard could tell tales of. Or sing songs about.
You plan to sing songs about us one day?
When you say that, her face kind of darkens. She kind of looks at the ground. I would like that, yes.
What would you sing about? If you... What do you think others would want to know about us?
Oh. Well? She kind of looks up. I suppose how brave you all are. How daring you can be, Eros, and how dedicated Muri is, and how charming and beautiful and brave and kind and caring.
Honey, your lesbian is showing.
Rhea is. You're not there. Shut up.
Hey.
And then she kind of pauses and she goes, I mean, you all are. You're not there. Shut up.
Second campaign where the DM is my wingman.
Well, you're right about... Wait, she said Mori being brave, right?
Dedicated.
Dedicated.
You,
oh,
what was
daring.
it? Daring, Muri, dedicated, and a host of things for Rhea. Yeah.
I'll agree that Miri's dedicated and Rhea's... Well, definitely, unique.
But you don't think that you're daring?
I think that sometimes I'm in the right place at the right time.
I don't think that at all. I think that you're the kind of person that does what she needs to do and what she wants to do and what she thinks is right. She doesn't let anyone tell her different. I think that's a very rare person.
Well, maybe one day I can live up to such high praise. I don't think I'm doing what I want to do for sure, but this is definitely where I am. I'll make the best of where I am and do what I have to keep breathing.
She's quiet for some time as you guys continue to make your way towards Van Carlo's house. Then she says, I think that, well, I'm sorry if it seems uncaring to say this given the situation that we're all in, the times that we're facing, but I have never been happier in my life. I would not be so quick to change where you are or what you're doing if I were you or us.
Well, I can easily think of a time I was happier, but that's not quite where my life is now. So, what brings you here? Why are you with us? I know, Cressida introduced us at the banquet and everything and asked if we would give you a place to stay, but...
Oh. No, I asked. I simply...
Sorry.
No, that's
Yep.
fine, that's fine. She'd say, well, my training at home with my family has achieved all that it could there. There comes a time when a bard has to go out into the world and... Well, my family seems to think that I suffer from a case of shyness, which is very unbecoming of a bard. And I'm afraid that they're right. And given my line of work, that is a very bad thing. So, the only way to overcome such things is to experience the world and perform in it and well, that's why I'm here. To experience the world, I suppose. I must admit, I did not expect it to be so exciting.
Well, I hope that excitement doesn't cost you what you hold what you hold precious. Don't lose sight of those important things. And as far as being shy, I know that you seem to let your violin do most of the speaking for you. And if you have talent, isn't that really what's important as a bard?
Harsh, you know?
No, I'm just saying, like, people are shy and they let their instrument speak for them.
Again, her face darkens and she looks at the ground as you walk, and she's quiet for almost an uncomfortable amount of time, and then she says in a low voice, eventually all our dreams are shattered, or us. Everything that we care about is taken from us eventually. Better to enjoy it while we have it.
Yeah.
I believe that we're here.
Definitely.
And, you're there.
Okay. The only thing Erasmus was gonna say was...
Oh, sure.
To the effect about, even when those things are taken from you, you can still savor the memories you had. And then, knock on the door.
You hear from inside, go away! I don't want any well-wishers or students, especially not at times like this.
I always thought that you said your house would be open. Should we ever need a place. And for a man so handsome as you, I don't think you'd want to spend such time alone by yourself.
The door, burst open, and Van Carlo's just there, leaning on the door frame. Well, oh. And he looks down and he sees you, and then he sees Shala, and his face brightens, and he goes, my friends. Well, of course I didn't mean you. Please, come in.
Actually, we're here to escort you to dinner.
I see.
Where he's back at the orphanage?
Well, he's like he leans out the door, looks to the left where there's like a house burning down, looks to the right where there's like it looks like there's a gang that's about ready to start like a street fight with some other small gang, and he goes, "Right. Well, couldn't imagine a more lovely evening for dinner. Give me a moment."
We appreciate it.
He closes the door again. And then there's a moment of silence. He is a very odd man, is he not?
He has his charming qualities. But he is rather flirtatious.
Oh. Yes, well. She kind of sighs and stands up. She says, I have learned long ago to tell the difference between harmless flirtation and, well, I guess the word to be used would be creepy. He always struck me as the first, not the second.
It's completely innocent.
Oh, I'm not sure I would call a man like him innocent. Simply harmless.
Flirtatious.
she kind of gives you like a half smile. And with that, Van Carlo comes out wearing the exact same clothes, but now he has a mithril rapier strapped to his side. And he goes, well, ladies, I can't say that I wouldn't look forward to a nice meal. It's been a bit peckish lately. Not many students that are, well, paying students anyway.
The current times have been rough on everybody.
Yes, so I've heard. Well, and he'll offer like an elbow to each of you.
Ross will reach up to take his elbow.
And Shala will daintily like drape an arm around the other one. He'll say, well then, shall we? And head back towards Murray's house. And then we can end there. So we'll start next session about the time you get back. On the way, you're accosted. Breaks into a fight. 3 hour long. Murray sitting in the kitchen tapping her heels.
Where is everybody?
Dinner is getting cold.
Alright. Well, so, I know, a bit of a shorter session. Now that everyone is here, would everyone be able to start a little early in the evenings?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. I know that part of the reason why we're starting late is usually on me, but I think that if I have an earlier start time, I can just make a hard decision to just stop working earlier. So
Probably a good idea.
Yeah. So we can go on a bit further. But hey, on the bright side, at least we're doing this every week now instead of every other Tuesday. Most of the time.
Yeah.
All right then, everyone. Thanks for watching. And we will see you next Tuesday. Ta-ta, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.